YouTube vinyl community, Mike the Retro, and on the last video I gave you part 1 of my LP collection. This video is part 2, the continuation of showing off my LP collection to the YouTube vinyl community. And let's get part 2 started, shall we? Heat Waves, Central Heating, the follow-up to their 1976 album, Too Hot to Handle. Another Heatwave album, this one from 1982, their last album before they split up, and this one's called Current. This one is a keeper here. This is the single 12-inch of Manfred Mann's Earth Band 1984 hit called Runner, and a Chico station that played AOR back in the day, KFM, in Chico, California. This used to be their copy of Manfred Mann's Earth Band Runner. Ian Matthews, who was the member of the group and the founder of Matthews Southern Comfort, his 1979 solo album, which has the hit Shake It on it, Stealing Home. A 180-gram reissued version of Steve Miller's Greatest Hits. Mr. Welcome to the Real World, which has Broken Wings, Kyrie, and Is It Love? 1986 was the year for this album. Debut from Robbie Nivell, which has C'est La Vie, Dominoes, and What's It to Ya? Night Ranger and Seven Wishes has the hits Sentimental Street, Goodbye, and 4 in the Morning, Can't Take It Anymore. One of 3 Orleans albums that I have in my LP collection. This one is Let It Be Music, or Let There Be Music, which has the hits Dance With Me on it. And if I can get it down low here. Orleans and Wakin' and Dreamin' from 1976, which has the hits Still One on it. And their last album from 1979 called Forever, which has their top 20 1979 hit Love Takes Time. Poco and Legends from 1978, which has the hits Crazy Love and Heart of the Night on it. Suzi Quatro, If You Knew Susie from 1979, which has Stumbling In, her duet with Smokey's Chris Norman. Jerry Rafferty and City to City, which has Baker Street, Right Down the Line, and Home and Dry on it. Chris Rea, Whatever Happened to Benny Santini, which has the hit Fool If You Think It's Over. Turley Richards and an album called, if you can pronounce it, Thurifu or something, Thurifu, or however you pronounce that album, which has the hits You Might Need Somebody, that missed the top 40 back in 1980. Leo Sayer, Endless Flight, which has songs like You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, When I Need You and How Much Love. Leo's 1977 album, the follow-up to Endless Flight, Thunder in My Heart, which includes the title track and Easy to Love. Leo Sayers' 1980 album, which includes the hits More Than I Could Say and Living in the Fantasy, which is the name of the album, by the way. Seals and Crofts' 1978 album, Taking It Easy, which includes You're the Love. Carly Simon Spy album in 1979, which has the hit Vengeance on it. Rick Springfield and Working Class Dog, which includes Jesse's Girl, I've Done Everything for You, and Love Is Alright Tonight. Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet, Rick's 1982 album, the follow-up to Working Class Dog, which has the hits Don't Talk to Strangers on it. And the follow-up to Success Hasn't Spoiled Me Yet, follow-up, Living in Oz in 1983. Jon Stewart and Bombs Away, Dream Babies from 1979, which has the hit Gold on it. Getting a little help from a couple members of Fleetwood Mac, Lindsey Buckingham and Jon Stewart. And speaking of Fleetwood Mac connection, I have a couple of Bob Welch albums. This one from 1977, after he left Fleetwood Mac and went solo. French Kiss, which has the hits Ebony Eyes, Sentimental Lady, and Hot Love, Cool World. And the follow-up to French Kiss was Three Hearts in 1979, has the hits Precious Love on it. And this is Capitol Records promotional sampler. This is like 2 LPs of that were not sold in stores. They were sold to radio stations to sample the artists that they were playing at the time, back in 1979. And that one's called Fresh Air. And it has music from Little River Band, Kim Carnes, Peebo Bryson, Desmond Child, and Rogue, and so many more. I love this one. And another promotional sampler album, this time around from RCA, called Hot Wax, back in 1978. It has tunes from Bonnie Tyler, Hall & Oates, Jefferson Starship, and Toby Bo. And I even got the soundtrack to the original Saturday Night Live with the original cast of the not ready for primetime players like Dan Aykroyd, the late John Belushi, the late Gilda Radner, Jade Curtin, Chevy Chase, all in there in that album. And last but not least, a K-Tel album, if you can imagine that. This is one of my only K-Tels that I have in my record collection, called Rainbow. And that'll do it for my LP collection. Thanks for tuning in, the YouTube vinyl community. Thanks for watching. And I'll make more videos as well in coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Later.